Welcome to the Graveyard. Recording at this point?
Yeah.
Word. Welcome to the Shibby Shack.
Check that off.
I'm Spencer.
I'm Bob.
And we are the Shootin the Shibby. We are shooting the Shibby. I do apologize in advance.
So all those people named Shibby out there, we're gonna shoot you.
I do apologize in advance. I'm a little sniffly. My mom and I are rebuilding a house, and long story short, the budget that went to redoing the basement went to shooting hot foam.
Shibby?
No, shooting hot foam in the house.
That sounds incredibly kinky.
It is. Well, I mean, if you think insulating a roof is kinky, then man, do I got the right thing for you. But in all honesty, it's foam shooting is apparently just way more insulatier than normal Pink Panther foam. As you can tell, I did a lot of studying for this. So instead of having a budget to clean out the basement, I got to clean out the basement.
That sounds like an absolute blast.
Oh, it was great, especially because, like, after all the demo work to the house and whatnot, everything just falls. And guess what the lowest part of the house is? The basement?
The attic.
How did you know?
Shit.
No, it's the upside-down attic.
Fuck.
The basement.
Thinking of Australia.
So, yeah, it was a lot. Wait a minute. You're onto something there. So,
Brain blast!
an Australian attic is a basement for us. Because we're on the correct side of the globe. Unless the Earth is flat, we're fuck it all. But, so, yeah. So, it's just me, my vacuum, and I was like, this is gonna suck.
I saw a picture that was the curvature of every planet, and it got to Earth, and it was just the line.
Flat Earth memes are funny.
I really did not take all that. I really thought that was all trolling.
I'm
still convinced it's one giant troll.
It's just a giant troll.
It has to be, right?
Dude, they launched a rocket in the air. Nothing impressive, but someone climbed in a rocket and heavily injured themselves over this. I mean, if this is a troll, it is the most dedicated to troll I've ever seen.
All right, but see, here's my question: when does trolling be like? When is there too dedicated to trolling?
I don't know. Ask the Church of Scientology.
Those fuckers literally created a religion.
It's really funny.
L. Ron Hubbard, is he still alive?
No,
he's dead. Oh, he
Oh,
dead.
he's super dead.
Oh, okay.
He's really dead.
He's cadaverific.
Well, he is just laughing his ass off in whatever area.
I told you guys that story of where I was I was taking pictures for a book company, and then I found out it was for L. Ron Hubbard.
I think I remember you telling us this story on the podcast.
Yeah, I think I did. Quick recap.
It's a great podcast. You should listen to it.
TLDR. I was taking photos for an internship, and it was for a book company, and I was, just taking all these photos, and then someone put the book down, and I looked at the book, and it said L. Ron Hubbard. And I was like,
And
then I got back to my internship, and I was like, I had to take photos for a Scientologist, and it goes, yeah, they're Scientologists. The people I worked for were Scientologists, and I was like, oh, well, it's a good thing I didn't tell them that. I was freaked out by that.
Yeah, it's funny. Imagine what would have happened.
Yeah, I would have got back and been like,
Excuse
make
me,
up a name
boss?
for her, Susie. Who's going? It's a different name. We'll call her Susie McSusie. I had to do a thing for Scientologists. Isn't that fucking weird? And she's like,
Why is it gotta be weird, Brian?
Yeah,
why is it gotta be What's wrong with following a religion?
Almost would have been like the first day I had there, where they wanted to test my editing skills, and they had me edit a music video that they did. I didn't realize they were the ones that shot it, and during the entire time, I kept saying how the director sucked. Not realizing it was the person I was working for, husband.
And was that your first day that you actually said, oh, man.
I had a job. I worked at a Lexus dealership. And for those that don't know, the luxury Toyotas I am not very fond of. And at the time, I always just kind of thought as a Lexus as not a tier below Mercedes and BMW, but maybe like a half tier below. And so mid-interview, I guess I forgot whether he asked me if I was thinking of the brand or I was like, I really respect Lexus as like the affordable luxury car compared to Mercedes and BMW. And he kind of just gives me a look like, what do you mean? It's like, well, it's the Toyota. Aren't they a little bit cheaper than BMW and Mercedes? Like, no, they're in the same price range. And I'm just thinking of all these Toyotas, and I'm like, oh, dear God, people pay that much money for these? Whoa. Now, given nowadays they've come a long way and they're not as frumpy as just putting fancy lights on a Toyota Camry, but Point being, I still got the job, so I gave him the old razzle dazzle somehow.
I can't think of Lexus without the December to Remember event where they played that stupid song. And oh my god, I hate Lexus.
December. Oh,
Oh my god, you're
Welcome
right.
to the Lexus December to Remember event. I'm like, I don't care. Shut up.
I
It
think
happens every fucking Christmas.
And then
think
August is the
Christmas
golden-
commercials are hands down the worst fucking thing in the world.
I hate
No,
a
they're my
good
favorite.
amount of them, but there's like I hate half of them because the other half I really like. Like I love Hess truck commercials.
Hess truck. I love the Hess trucks.
Back and it's better than ever. We have a fucking helicopter jet this year. Screw trucks. And I'm like, okay.
Dude, Hess trucks were quality toys.
Oh my god, I love those.
And
Those are my favorite Christmas gift every year.
Right. And for me, the groundbreaking part is they always came with the batteries. The batteries were included.
Batteries are included. Wink.
We get you. Here at Hess. No, but
Do they even exist anymore?
Hess, the company,
The
does.
Hess truck does.
No, Hess as a company does.
But the gas stations.
Well, I'm pretty sure.
Their gas stations turned into Speedway.
Citation, yes. Okay, so that was going to be my citation needed, but Speedway, yeah.
But the Speedway truck doesn't have a ring to it like Hess truck.
Yeah.
No, the
Hess truck still every year does the truck itself.
Even though the truck are now
purchase
like
at your
jet
local
planes
Speedway.
and like fighter pilot, like
Yeah.
fighter jets.
Well, I don't even think you can purchase it at Speedway stores. I think you have to only do it online now.
The Hess drone is here. Bomb with pine trees.
The Hess X-Wing's back and it's better than ever. Shooting down the Death Star this year.
Pew pew.
The X-Wing's here.
The drone strike is back and it's better than ever. Bombing
Batteries
Syrians
included.
this year. The Hess truck's here. Bomb Syria from Hess.
South Park did that, where they just like, it was just, they bombed them with presents. We should do that. We should do that. Bomb them with like crayons.
Merry
Crayola.
Christmas, fuckers. I
Is there
feel
another
like
company that does crayons besides Crayola?
Rose Art.
Rose, okay.
Ooh.
All right, yeah,
but
that's fair.
Rose Art sucks. Like,
Well, Crayola is hands down the best, but
Well,
I mean,
of
there's also
course.
generic crayons.
Well, no, because like I'm trying.
there
to
are
I'm
like the
trying to
restaurant
think-
crayons.
Yeah,
I was
restaurant.
like, I'm trying to think of another company that does crayons.
That does crayons well? No, nobody else does.
No, like literally, you got me with
Rose Art.
Rose Art.
But I'm trying to think of another company.
sure-
Like, just name one.
Lisa Frank.
That's is that a company?
Yeah, they did all the funky, colorful
all the-
unicorn folders.
Yeah, unicorn folders and,
And
binders.
every time I
that's
talk
just
about
okay.
Lisa Frank, I always accidentally say "and," and it results.
Well,
in a
that's
really,
because his name's Frank, and you know that's.
no, but I don't
That's
think
a
you
clear
understand.
first name, so-
I always say it like accidentally. Think, yeah, I had.
I love Anne Frank folders. They're always hidden at the top of the backpack. I can't find them normally.
Yeah, well, apparently, the only things I can't find are at the bottom of my backpack, like rotting strawberries. But we already talked about that one.
I actually just cleaned out my backpack, and I found a shit ton of stuff in the bottom of it.
Whenever I do that, I always found like a pencils and erasers and other bullshit like pen caps.
Did you guys ever have the pen pals, like in high school or high school? No, we didn't have pen pals, but in like elementary school, where you just get a random person from like a different school very close by, and you just send them letters back and forth.
I did. We
I
did that.
never
We did
did.
that with soldiers. When I was
Well,
younger.
that's actually meaningful.
That's kinda cool.
I did that with another. I did that with another school, and just like they were almost right across the street. So, but it resulted in us sending presents to each other. Except we always just sent each other our broken crayon colors that we didn't want. So it was always like a half color poop brown crayon, and
have my macaroni yellow dick.
And I played Duke Nukem 64 way too young as a kid. Mostly because my friend had it, and I convinced my parents to buy me a rated M game when I was like, I don't know, 11.
Nice.
But I drew my pen pal a beautiful portrait of an alien that's all bloody and mucked up from being shot up. But the best part that came full circle, you guys have met Austin, right? Austin, CrossFit
I
Austin.
might have.
That was my pen pal. Had no idea for the longest time until I was over his house one day, and I was just like, wait a minute. I remember the poop brown crayon. Wait a minute. I remember the Duke Nukem mural. And he actually still had the pictures. He actually still had it. I got to see that.
Years away.
Of course I did. The fucking pen pal letters. What the hell do I want to do with those?
He hung them up, waiting for the day for you to come back. It's like I'm waiting for the day my pen pal writes me again, and Spencer just looks at it and he's, "It's me." And they made Sweet Passionate Love that night.
I mean, we were like 12, but
Sweet, underrated, passionate love.
true. I guess if it's the same
Underage,
age,
you mean,
it's
not underrated.
underrated. God,
Underrated, passionate
learned
love. It's just
something
not that good, you know?
Underaged.
I mean, everyone's first is not that good, but yeah, you know. So anyway,
Well, it's funny.
away
You guys
from the pedophilia.
you guys
Actually, it's
had-
not really pedophilia if we're both the same age. It's still underage. Is that illegal?
It's child porn.
Well, we didn't record it. Also, this never happened, so I don't want to just said it like that.
Did it never happen?
So,
So,
anyway,
Bob, what were you saying?
well, you guys had had pen pals.
We're good.
I wrote a letter to myself my senior year
That is the saddest thing I've ever heard.
because it was part of a class,
Although
mind you.
I can outsad you, but yes, continue.
It was part of a class, and our health teacher had us write a letter to ourselves, and she would mail them out in 5 years, which was kind of cool.
Did you just say that, Bob, you're a nerd?
You know what? Next week I will bring that letter in because I still have it.
Oh, dude, yes, please.
It's-
yes, please.
It's amazing. It's so great because it's basically like, hey, dude, hope you're like still talking to people you know and like things like that. And I'm just like, yeah,
I know myself.
I'm still kind of talking to my friends.
I'm friends with the person in my head.
Also, fuck you, Brian, because my coworker does that. She sends letters after 4 years, so when they are seniors in high school. So go fuck yourself.
I'm not knocking it. I was just making a joke that younger Bob would have trolled older Bob and told me he's a nerd.
Today's
See-
Bob probably, but then
Yeah,
I'm just like,
not,
hey,
I'm not
man.
making fun of it. That is a cool idea. I wish I did
And it's
something
like,
like
I
that.
hope you're
but I just-
famous. I hope you're like, taking care of yourself and not a piece of garbage human. I'm like,
Sit down, buddy. I got something to tell you.
sorry, past me. Sorry to disappoint.
Well, I got one for you. Want to talk about how your boy's a winner? My junior year, I asked out a girl on Valentine's Day, I kind of did it like all traditional or not traditional. I kind of did it like old school. I brought in chocolates and I walked over and I said, "Will you go out with me?" And I kissed her on the cheek. Like that's what I don't know. My mom kind of coached me to do that, and I'm sure that was probably really fun and cute in the Howdy Doody days. I guess in like 2006, it wasn't as cute because this was high school also, so it wasn't even like I was. Oh yeah,
Rough.
post puberty. Oh yeah, so it wasn't like I was like in fourth,
Hey,
fourth
Cindy,
grade.
do you want to go out with me?
Well,
kiss your cheek.
well, I shit you not. She wrote her senior paper about how that was the worst day of her entire life.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's commitment.
Right?
That's commitment of you.
Like I said,
fuck yourself.
your boy is a winner. Just putting it out there.
Wow.
Holy shit, that's
Oh, yeah.
amazing.
That's fantastic, actually.
I don't know where I'd be if I didn't know how to laugh at myself, but yeah,
That was the worst day of her life.
I kid you not.
I had a similar-ish scenario.
Also, just remember, she's a senior in high school. I mean, a lot can happen from then to now, or from birth and then.
Wait, how old were you when you did it?
I would 17, maybe, something like that.
Okay. I have a similar-ish story. It's like really short.
Did she said no, right?
Yes, a very, very hard no.
Okay.
I had a similar story where it was just my friends, I use in quotation marks, like to screw with me.
Mm-hmm.
And
No,
so
never.
something they like to do was ask girls out on my behalf.
Oh.
And they went up to this one girl and were just asked her like, "Do you want to go out with Brian Kelly?" And wow, I've never been so rejected by someone I didn't want to ask out. I didn't even like this girl. Like, yeah, those are the girls I liked, but I barely knew her. And then
Well,
I was
she didn't
playing
like you either.
I was playing like football or like flyers or something, where you like throw the ball up and you catch it. And with a group of people there, and these girls came over and they're like, "Oh, come over here." I'm like, "Okay." And I'm like, "What the fuck is happening?" And there's a girl like near tears, and they're holding her down. And they're like, "Do you want to go out with her?" And I was like, "No." And they're like, "Well, your friends asked her out on your behalf." I'm like, "Okay,"
They suck.
but I didn't want to, and she got so relieved, and I was like, "Am I that bad?"
Right? It's like
I didn't even ask you out, and I'm getting rejected hardcore. Like, god damn.
No boy. Well, look who he's with now.
Oh, that's me. So back to Spencer's story. I've been on the receiving end of a love letter before. It was sophomore year of high school, and he was in my creative writing class. And he wrote this letter saying, I will always love you. I'll be the best boyfriend in the whole world. I'll let you wear my coat, like all this stuff. And I was like, no, I'm not interested. Turns out he wrote the letter to a bunch of girls just to see if he could get laid by one of them. So I made the right decision on that call.
The kid was Tindering before Tinder even happened. He just
Exactly
fired all the shots.
That's amazing.
I was waiting for her to say that she went to Spencer's high school, and this was actually correct. She's like, yeah, I wrote my senior thesis about some guy who asked me out.
I would know if I kissed Corinne on the cheek, just for the record. I probably would have recognized her.
I was making a joke, idiot.
Well, it's not funny.
I have a
Unlike your life.
somewhat similar situation for me.
Life is pretty funny.
Except it's happened to me twice now, and
Nice.
both of them were
I'm at a table of winners.
actual dates or proposed dates.
Ooh, that just stopped me mid-beer sip. Ooh.
Went on my first date with this one girl, and I'm like, hey, you want to grab lunch and do whatever on Saturday? She's like, yeah, sure, no problem. So we go out. We go to Barnes & Noble because she really liked reading and everything. So I'm like, you know what? Let's go to a 2-story Barnes & Noble. Check it out. It was cool.
Damn, check out those books.
Exactly.
Well, it's not a library, but yeah.
Nice.
Dang it.
As Brian makes a mess. And so we, then
spilled,
afterwards,
it's fine.
we just go, all right, you want to grab lunch? Or, grab lunch. So we go to the restaurant,
Grab each other.
and
do
there
it.
are hearts and things everywhere.
Oh, is it Valentine's?
It was Valentine's Day, and neither of us noticed.
Welp.
So we sit down, and we're talking and ordering food. And the waitress comes over, hey, happy Valentine's Day. So how long have you two been together?
Do you know a Valentine's Day song? What's a good Valentine's Day song to sing Welp to?
And I
And
had
Welp.
the time of my whelp.
Oh,
I
Welp
don't know, like,
and Welp and
any,
Welp.
I guess any love song ever.
Welp.
But why Christmas? That's my question.
Because I always default to Deck the Halls, even when I do the bit about how we used to sing the Eddie Vedder Christmas carols. Here's the season to be. That's just what I default to is Deck the Halls.
So when you go to a funeral and they're all like, all right, sing the gospel song, and everyone's out, and Spencer comes out, well.
Saying Welp at a funeral. Welp.
Well,
So back to Bob, the other B, Bob.
Brob.
Brob.
We're just both gonna be Brob today.
Okay, Brob, go.
All right, Brob. But
I don't like this.
the waitress just
I
goes.
don't like it.
Waitress goes. Oh, so how long have you two been together?
Well, about 3 hours.
And we both just go. Friends.
I don't like her. She's my friend. She's got cooties.
I don't even like girls, but I'm not gay.
You're gay.
We both literally just go friends. And then silence.
You just friends of the shit out of each other. It's fantastic.
Needless to say, that was actually no. We went on a couple other dates after that, but nothing else happened. And then another time, I was talking with an ex-girlfriend of mine. I'm like, oh hey, we should hang out, blah 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 blah. And she goes, oh okay, cool. Let's hang out. I'm like, all right, let's go Thursday. Thursday comes and goes, and nothing comes of it. I'm like, hey, I thought we were gonna hang out. She goes, oh yeah, that would have been Valentine's Day.
You have good luck,
I have
my friend.
awful luck.
Well, when it comes to the whole waitress thing, this was 2 weeks ago, and it's just like I pulled an NPC. For those that don't know what that means, it's non-playable character. If you're playing a video game and it's not something that you can play as, it's just a person that's there. The role is in the game just to be a shopkeeper. Like, hey, what do you want? That's an NPC. I call the moments where you just say things pre-programmed as NPC moments. So we're sitting there. Manager walks by in that Applebee's. Of course, I'm mid chewing. He's like, "How's the?" He's like, "How is everyone doing today?" I look at him and go, "Delicious, thank you." So pulled my NPC moment, and then it really made me stop and think though. How many times do we have moments where you just you're pre-programmed. Like you'll see a random person, "Hi, how are you?" You don't actually give a shit how they're doing. You just say, "How are you?"
I'm too busy. Please leave me alone.
That was me this weekend. I went to go cover the NASCAR race down in Dover International Speedway.
Be there.
Every single person that works there, it's just a force of habit. Hi,
Hi,
how are you? Hi, how are you? But it's the exact same way. Walked past a group of employees. Hi, how are you? Hi, how are you?
I heard
Hi,
that
how are you?
monsters
Hi,
are
how
coming
are you?
back.
What happened?
I heard that monsters are coming back.
Oh.
The generic kid who just sees running around.
I've also noticed a new term going around with the young people: cuffing or cuffed. They're cuffed.
I've heard about
I
this.
think it means that you're like in a relationship. Because my one friend posted a status. She's like, I haven't seen a lot of Saturday for the Boys statuses since people are getting cuffed now, or it's cuffing season.
It's cuffing season. Yes.
Cuffing season. Does that mean like just getting a lady for the for the fall?
But I thought
Also, Bob,
I
congrats on your new girlfriend.
I thought wasn't summer supposed to be the whole relationship season?
Oh hell no! Fall is
It used to be.
definitely or autumn.
It used to be. Autumn is now like the relationship.
When did it ever? Autumn is cuddle season, even though
Exactly.
autumn is just second
Exactly.
summer right now.
That's
Oh, summers
why.
are for flings,
Yeah,
guess
summer's just
autumn-
like to bang it out.
and autumn is just where you start the relationship, where you can.
Yeah, because it's
to
for
have that
cuddling.
going
You
too.
want to have that person with you. You want to do fall activities. Because let's face it, as guys, we all want to go pumpkin picking and shit, but we don't want to do it ourselves or with another group of guys. We want to have that, someone with us to go, and we don't want to, be seen
Well, if
out
it
with
makes you
another
Today I
dude.
learned
Like,
Bob
come on.
really wants to go pumpkin picking.
Fuck you! I love autumn activities.
I would.
I won't go pumpkin picking with you.
Fuck you! It's
Yay.
guys only.
Saturdays for the boys and pumpkin picking.
Yeah, we just come in with like the beer helmet. Yeah, coming into the pumpkin patch. We're good to go.
Saturdays are for
I'm gonna
pumpkin
get me a
spice.
jack-o'-lantern.
we try and pick up the biggest one, and we're all struggling over it. Like, here, come on. We're man. We got this.
Pumpkin is swole, bro.
Well, it's definitely true. And I guess it all has to do with the fact that you want to, hunker down for the winter. It's, getting cooler out.
Gotta get you a female that you can slice open.
You're gonna
and
change.
sleep
You're gonna
inside
change
for
your Tinder
warmth.
profile to it's turning autumn and I need to hibernate.
Who wants to be my tauntaun?
I need looking for a girl with enough room to fit me in so I can stay warm for the winter.
So speaking of Tinder, I was talking to my mom about Tinder because I kind of like I went on my first like I'll call not blind Tinder. I went on my first Tinder date.
Was this the one you told us about?
Did I talk about her already on the podcast?
Was this
I don't
like
know if
2
it
or
was
3
on the
weeks
podcast.
ago?
Yeah.
I don't know if it
Okay.
was on the
All right.
podcast,
I mean,
I don't
but
think
it
you
was
talked about
definitely
it on
after.
the podcast, but you did say you went on a date.
I did. There's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing bad for me.
Oh,
to
the
say about.
not the non-American.
Yes.
That
Oh,
was
the
that made
Baltic
me sound
countries.
Are you
incredibly
still talking
racist.
to her? Or?
Yeah. Well.
Okay.
Well. All right. So no, I went on my first my first Tinder date. It was kind of awkward at first, but as it progressed, the night went on. It turned out it was her first like Tinder date as well. I have reconnected with 2 people through Tinder, but I already knew them, so it wasn't like, hey, I only know you by messaging on Tinder and your pictures of your face. I mean, she was super beautiful, and she said she's a musician from one of the Baltic countries, and that she comes over here. Like, I was really expecting to see a dude with a beard and a wig on. Like, it was just one of those things where like it sounded like.
Me.
I actually would love to go on a Tinder date with you, Brian.
Oh, boo. Show me a good time.
Oh, I know you will. Can't wait for PAX next year.
I need an adult.
I am an
Sounds
adult.
like you need someone to go pumpkin picking with you.
Damn it, I do, and I already have one.
Oh yeah, fuck you.
And I'm going this Saturday.
Well, there you go. Basic Bob things. But it was one that I thought I got ghosted because like the date went. I would say the date went okay. It's the first time I'm getting back into dating. I was a little bit awkward because I overthink things, as I think I may have expressed one or 2 or 18 times.
we had that whole part of the episode where
Right.
Bob was your angel and I was your devil.
Exactly. By the way, having my inner monologue in your voice when I don't want it to be is fantastic. Like it makes it so much easier to laugh at it.
Oh, for sure. That's like Game Grumps. How they deal with mean comments is they read them in Dale Gerbel's voice.
That's
So, like,
genius.
I miss when Aaron used to animate. What happened to that sellout?
Fair statement, though. I don't know. Actually, I haven't watched Game Grumps in forever. I wouldn't even know.
I thought that was one of the best things ever. So if you ever read like mean comments, just read them in like a funny voice.
Indeed. But it was one of those things where, like, her and I were kind of, like, texting back and forth, and then she stopped texting me. Like, she kept on saying, like, yeah, we need to hang out, or we should hang out again. I was like, oh, maybe the date went better than I thought, and I'm just overthinking things. Fucking shocker. But then she stopped messaging me, so I'm like, well, all right, I guess I got ghosted.
Welp.
Why try? Why try good? I made, like... We talked about the ska, and like, so at first I thought she lost interest. So like, I just kind of, whatever, I'm not gonna pester her. It's cool. It's whatever. That's the point of dating. You figure out if you like someone or not. And all of a sudden she's like, hey, what was that genre we were talking about? I was like, oh, ska. I made her a 50-song ska playlist. Probably.
That's true love right there.
She listened to one
Well,
song and
I've
was
met
like,
her
"Nah."
once in person before we start dropping the L word prematurely. Did that on the other Tinder date. Oopsie poopsie.
You told her you loved her? You Ted Mosby.
Wait, what?
Ted Mosby.
Yeah.
How much money?
Oh my God, you totally Ted Mosby'd.
What?
Nice.
Can I explain my situation?
Yeah, go for it.
Go for it, Ted.
I had heavy insecurities. Got really comfortable with the girl who accepted me for my insecurities. Way prematurely dropped the L word because I got comfortable. Is that the Ted Mosby experience? Is that close?
Well, just saying it on the first
He said,
date.
"I love you" on his first date.
Oh wow, no, it wasn't the first date.
Oh, well, then,
we
yeah,
were
you're fine.
dating for like dating for like 3 months. Still way prematurely. Even after, it was one of those things where in my own head I couldn't tell if like I'm telling myself not to do things because I'm afraid to do them, or if I should actually do them.
Was this the girl? Yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah.
Neat.
Yeah.
Yep. That was.
Oh, is that why that one didn't work out? I forgot.
It probably didn't help.
It's okay. She was kind of cool, but there was just other moments where we were with her, and I'm like, fucking brick wall.
Yeah. But point being, like, so like 5 days go by of this girl that I went on a date with. So I just kind of, I don't know. Apparently nowadays with Tinder, you're supposed to juggle dates. Like you're supposed to like talk to a few people at once. I don't know how to do it. I mean, I guess I'm kind of doing it right now. I don't know. I just got 2 new likes today. Woo.
Well, that's not going on a date. That's just
Yeah, there's a difference between likes and conversations.
Enlighten me. No, I know what you mean. I even still feel guilty. I don't know, but
I'm sure she's doing the same.
I mean, probably, and that's totally cool. She's the kind of person that even if we don't end up dating, she was just like an awesome, motivated, positive person I'd like to keep around. Even as a friend, I'll friend zone myself over it. I don't give a shit. She was just cool. But like, she messaged me today. I was like, oh. She's like, like, hey, I've been doing music stuff and I haven't been able to, check my phone and whatnot. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She
I
said,
created my own ska band.
well, that'd be magical. I would love to say I was a part of that, and I helped. But like, she said like, yeah, we should go to karaoke, and then I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm really happy you made that playlist. It's been really fun for road trips. I was like, cool. If you like it, I'll add more music to it and whatnot. What have you been up to? And then she hasn't responded today. Like, is that normal? Because like,
well, she said she was busy doing shit earlier. So if
I get that. It's
if
just
she's
like,
not responding again now, I'm sure she's just busy doing shit, man.
No, I'm not. I'm not trying. I'm not sitting here like, oh my god, you like me? Like, I'm already. It's fine. I'm just like confused.
Fine. Everything's fine.
This is fine. Everything's fine. I don't know. The Tinderverse is weird.
I am so happy I never had to go through that.
You know what? No, it's actually kind of fun. No, I disagree. I think it's
I
fun.
disagree. I hate it.
I'm looking forward to meeting new
babe.
people.
Exactly. That's true love right
I can
there.
see the cops are chasing you by your controller, rocking the cherries and berries. I think no, Tinder can be fun.
No.
Yes, it can, because you could just meet people. You know what it is? It's not good. It's not.
Is it Bumble the one? Is it Bumble the one where you find friends?
Hold on, we'll get to that in a minute.
No, Tinder. It's the thing with Tinder is it's not the Tinder, the app, that's an issue. It's people that are insecure about dating that is their personal issues. Coming from a guy that is, I admit all of that right here, right now. Tinder is a great thing. Like, you can just meet people for fun. I can see where it might be cringy on the female end of it.
It has a stigma stigma is the problem. Tinder is known as the fuck one.
Everything has a stigma.
Everything-
Volkswagen has a stigma. White people
Online-
have a stigma.
No,
Oh,
no,
everything
no,
has a
no,
stigma.
no.
Online dating in total.
Yeah, it has a stigma. Yes, I understand that, but
But that's
I'm just
how
saying
it's done these
there's
days.
no. I'm not saying it's the stigma of an online dating. It's Tinder is known as the just like quick fuck one, while like Bumble is known as like the actual relationship one.
It depends where you are. So I was discussing this. My little brother is still in college, and I was discussing this with his friends. Apparently, it really is that out there. Like, you match with someone, you invite them out to the club, or just really, you just go out to like a dance club, you have a few drinks, you hang out, you fuck, you never talk again.
Yeah, I'm saying
That
that's,
happened.
That's what Tinder is known as.
My major disconnect is I don't know how to go from A to B to C. Like, I don't know to hello, fellow woman, would you like to partake in the intercourse? Like, I don't know how.
Hello, would you like my penis inside of you for 5 to 10 seconds?
Minutes, okay, sir, minutes.
Shit, easy there. Save some loving for the rest of us.
Plenty to go around, ladies. I liked, who was that? Not Bo Burnham. There was a different Dimitri Martin, who's like, if you ever want to make any comment sound creepy, just follow it up with ladies. Precisely.
Well, I really, I disagree with the whole Tinder is. Yes, Tinder is fun when you're actually able to meet people and things like that. There are really two rules of Tinder: be attractive and don't be unattractive. And that is how you get the most matches. Because let's face it, no one reads the profile. You can have, you
I
can
beg to differ on
not.
that one.
Okay, let me rephrase.
The whole r/Tinder.
Don't actually
subreddit-
interrupt Bob on this one. I'm curious to see what he has to say.
Let me rephrase. Not everyone reads the bios. How many times have you sat there, Spence, and just said, I'm bored, flip, 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 flip. With all the people that you go through on Tinder, what percentage of them do you actually click on the profile, read the thing, read the little profile? How many people don't even have a profile? Flipping through, seeing what their theme song is, what their Instagram looks like, things like that. How many of that do you actually do?
If it's if it's someone that pops to me like an alternative looking person and whatnot, maybe I'll look at the profile or maybe I'll look at the bio. But really, what I do is I flip through based on physical. I flip through based on physical attraction, and if I match with someone, then I look at the profile. If I find them attractive, maybe I'll look at the Instagram too. I don't know. But no, but that's really how I do it. So like, if I do think they're like cool, I'll look at their Instagram first if they have it linked to their profile, just because I know I have mine, because I'm in the mindset. I have people saying like, oh man, you need to write this down. You need to say that you're looking for a meaningful this and that. It's like, I'm gonna write down what I want to be.
Yeah, you have to be you.
Pretty much. I think I do a good job of being that, for better or for worse. But no, it's for the better. But I personally don't really look at the bio until I match with that person, and then you have the option to unmatch. Also, whoever created the super like option has a flip up. Like, so if like each direction you flip on your phone.
I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally super liked someone when I was single.
But the worst part is when
Going to say that now, when I was single, I do
when
not
I-
have Tinder.
That's good for you, Bob.
I need to preface this.
Good
and
for you.
I do not have Tinder.
Well, it's just like, I mean, because like left is no, right is yes, and up is super like. But if you use Bumble, which you mentioned before, Bumble, the big difference is the woman always speaks first.
Well,
So it's not about meeting
the
friends.
female has to message
okay.
first.
So you both will match, but the female has to message you first. I have a
And-
pending match on Bumble right now, awaiting a first thing. If they don't speak to you in 24 hours, it's dead.
Yeah. On top
So-
of that, if they do not speak with you in 24 hours, you have the option to extend it once, I think.
If
And
you pay
after
for
that,
Okay.
I think you get one free.
I'm
not-
maybe
I don't know.
I don't bother.
I've never done that because if they're going to message me,
Someone
cool. If
told
not,
me
no.
that Bumble also had like a friend option.
They do. There's also a business option.
Yeah, there's also a business one, but
Hey, Bumble,
who's going to
sponsor
look
us.
for a job on Bumble?
That's fine.
Bumble,
I-
please, we'll gladly take your money.
Hey man, it might be better than Craigslist nowadays. Who
Actually,
knows?
we might be able to do an endorsement for you. Get you on Bumble and say, "Oh, I met my so and so on Bumble." Blah blah blah
How'd
blah
you?
blah.
Oh, never
First
mind.
I-
I know how you make.
first
yours.
Download the app today.
I was
First,
about to be like, Bob, how'd you meet yours? Okay, no, I know how you make yours.
first I need a so and so, ladies. But the issue for me, going back and forth between Tinder and Bumble, is Bumble, the way to look at people's pictures, you swipe up, like to go down their profile, and then if you go over to Tinder and you swipe up, you just
swipe
super
up
like
and
them.
you
Yeah.
super like
And
them.
I have-
I could see where that's
I've
confusing.
accidentally super liked so many people.
My best
So
friend.
what does the
actually-
super like do? Does it just say like
It gives them a notification to say like, "Hi, this person super liked you." You get one every 24 hours if it's on paid.
Even
It kind of puts you towards the top of their stack.
does it only show that if they also match with you?
No. Well,
So saying
Oh
I'm,
no, this happened
so
to
saying
me. Yes.
so saying I'm scrolling through and I find, I find you, Bob, and I flip up on you.
okay.
Do you automatically get the
I
notification
get a
that I
notification
super liked
saying
you?
somebody super liked you,
And then
open
you
the
have
app
to open your
find
app
more.
and then like swipe
and
and
then
find people.
you happen to be in the stack of cards that
and
are
then
there.
if you say yes to me, then it says like
And then it
Brian
pops
has
up
super
as a
liked you.
match.
I thought it notifies. I thought it will notify you that it'll say like, if I super like Brian, Brian will open his app and it'll say Spencer super liked you. Like it will
Only
blatantly
if-
say.
only if you guys match. So say because I've had
What if we super like
'cause
each
I've had
other?
it before. Like
super
I've had it
liked you.
before where someone super liked me. I got notification saying someone super liked you. Flip through to see who it is because we have not yet matched. But then in your queue, if you super like someone, it'll pop up as like the person's picture that you've matched with like a little like thicker
Well, see,
border
that happened to
star
me.
around
I
or something
actually,
like that.
I came up on a person and I super liked them, but they already matched with me. So I was like, damn, there's a waste of a super like. I could have just swiped right and I would have got them.
Yeah,
Yeah, but how would you have known?
yeah,
I-
but you wouldn't have known.
It was just one of.
What if
it
you
was-
both super like each other? Does the app just blow up?
Well, she never talked to me, so.
Oh, rough.
I want. Do you really think the super likes work, or do you think they're cringy? Do you,
I think they do. I think
the only time super
I
likes ever
feel
worked.
like that would be a cringy thing.
there was a time when I got out of my previous relationship and I first joined back up on Tinder. Almost every other super like I did wound up matching with that person.
Right. Well, see, the only time super likes have ever worked for me if it was an accident, or the one time I super like someone who already liked me.
Well, see, my problem is if it was me and I got a super like done on my I got a notification so like somebody super liked you, I would literally just open up my app and just start swiping until I got a match that says like this person super liked you.
Yeah,
I wouldn't so
I'm
much
sure
care because then
Yeah.
if I match with someone and I'm like I don't care about that person, then I'm just not going to talk to them. But if I want to do it and see who the person was that super liked me.
Well, I bet
And
you
I mean-
the blatantly attractive people probably do get a lot of super likes, so it could be
Yeah.
cringy in that one. And then for like the people that don't get so many likes,
The
if you get a
normies
super
like
like,
us.
pretty much.
Well, that's the thing, and that's another reason why a lot of people have this thing against Tinder. It's where the people who are really attractive or may not be as attractive but are still female will use that as a confidence booster by saying, "Huh, there are 500 guys that think I'm attractive. I
And it
can
might-
do this."
Well, I mean, it's the same thing as an Instagram model. I think the important
yeah.
part is to remember that social media is not is actually not a good. It's a terrible gauge to rate about anything of yourself. Like just because you don't get likes on Instagram or Facebook or matches on Tinder does not make you any less of a person or less attractive of a person. I mean, I think it's really important to stay yourself. Like when people start giving advice on how to set up your Tinder profile, unless you have it set up like where you just don't know what you're doing, like a dad sets his up like, "Hey, I'm fun. I like to go on the boat on the lake and do
My gray hair
drink
means
Bud
experience.
Light. I know I'm a good guy. I listen to Jimmy Buffett like all of us." Like, yeah.
You guys like night moves?
I actually love night
I
moves.
do
Van
also
Morrison
love
is
night
great, but I'm a hidden dad also. So, but it's important to just understand that Tinder is not a good gauge. But speaking of profile bios, so my mom, I discuss these things with my mom.
Totally got away from that.
No, it's all good. I discussed these things with my mom, and she kept begging to make a bio for me.
Oh,
and
my
I was like,
God,
knowing
yes.
her, she's into she's into her chakras and universal energy. And I gotta say, if that's cool, if you're
She's
into that
into
stuff,
chakra. Is your mom Naruto?
totally. Sheesh. I was gonna say something as weird because it's my mom, but either way. So she made me a profile bio, and rather than actually using it, I just had her text it to me and send it. So this is a blind read.
Can
I read it?
Wait.
Do you want to read it?
I want to read it.
All right. It's a long
It
one.
looks
I
long.
just
It
I
looks-
saw the
holy
bulk.
shit, that looks
It sent
really
a text
long.
message at bulk. Hopefully, it's wholesome content because I told her to make it as if it was genuinely my profile, not
Brian literally just picked up Spencer's phone and immediately started laughing.
Oh jeez.
This makes it even better.
Oh jeez.
Your
Brian,
mom tried to be hip.
you know what? Let me just grab a beer real quick before you lay this on me. Anybody thirsty?
I'm good.
All right.
It's like a mix of wholesome and like trying to be young and hip.
Fantastic.
So it's
Oh,
it's
that
pretty,
makes it
it's pretty
better.
great. It's the most mom created my Tinder profile ever.
Fire away, my
My
friend.
mommy did
All right.
this
Fire away.
copy paste.
Spencer Pillas, 28 years old,
I am.
5 miles from you. I'm a fun, outgoing, caring guy. Would love to find someone special to have a rocking, fun times with, and also quiet times with. My passions include music of all genres. I am a car enthusiast. I love to travel and explore. I will try just about anything once.
Well,
Ladies,
mother. Jesus Christ.
I
wonder what was going through. I know,
I'm not done.
Fine,
I'm not
fine,
done.
Fine.
I will always treat you well. I will always do right by you. I will always care about you and your feelings. I might even fall in love with you.
Sorry.
I
That
am
was like a Legend of Zelda noise.
Yeah! Did Bob jump off like a cliff and slam his sword
It sounded
down?
like what was the
I'll isolate that so we can listen to it later.
It was one of the masonry workers that.
The guy was just like preposterous.
Yes, continue.
I am definitely the guy you want to take home to meet your mom. Life couldn't be better than having the right girl by my side. Let's get lit, Spencer.
She wrote
Let's get lit, baby! Woo!
Oh, Mom! Dude, this sounds like something right of r/nice guys. Like
Yep. Yep. Now your Tinder profile picture needs to be like you and your mom
fedora.
together.
I actually
In a fedora.
wearing this shirt with the unicorn doing squats. Absolutely. My mom wrote this for me. I actually kind of thought about doing it because fuck
Actually-
it, it's Tinder.
Actually, why not? That would be a phenomenal bio, and it's a conversation starter.
Even fall in love with you.
That's what made me. Lose
I
it.
did notice because I was talking to one girl for a while, and she, I told her I was moving to where I'm going, and she asked what made me want to move there, and I told her my mom and I are going in on a house or like rebuilding a house, and she stopped answering because I guess the whole living with your mom thing still isn't good when you're 28. Honestly, my situation is fantastic, so I'm not complaining, but fuck it. So.
See, a part of me also wants to have Bob and I ask our moms to write our profiles, but like Bob's newly in a relationship and I've been in one for like 5+ years, so
Right,
it's like
they can still write the profile. You
I
don't have to
guess.
use it. You're not. I mean,
Do it.
you got permission.
I kind of want to do like my mom writes one and Corinne writes one for me.
Ooh, that could be fun. You
Bob,
wanna-
babe, write one for me.
My name is
Freudian slip.
No, I want to see
Rob.
like yours versus
Rob.
my mother's.
Rob
I'm gonna
in.
text my mother right now actually and see like can we get like real time.
I mean,
Hey, Mom, write a dating profile for me. Nothing happened between me and my fiance,
real
but still.
yeah, real quick. NBD.
Be like, Mom, Corinne and I are fine, but I'm on the podcast and I need you to write me a Tinder profile.
Why don't I mean we can just save it till next week.
I'm doing it live right
You know
now.
what? I want to text. I'm going to text my girlfriend and see if she can write a Tinder profile for me.
Dude, go for it. Let me find. I had subjects I wanted to talk about, so I can take over while you guys thumb away. I did notice. There's been a lot of shitty stick figure apps coming out. Like ones that they're all physics based, where it's like stop your boss, and it's just like you're supposed to drop something on a seesaw, and it flings like a water balloon at them. Or it's just they're so, or like the guy smoking cigar. It seems like the animations of what should be the base app is just considered the app itself. And they're all a lot of apps are also marketed now. Like the gaming apps are like, this is a noob, this is a good person, expectations, reality.
I have seen this where it's like my dad versus my mom.
Is this what's selling?
And it's
like,
just
does
like
that sell
I
the
think it's
apps?
called Voodoo. I think the Voodoo is the name of the app.
Oh, there's
that
a
does it.
whole bunch of them.
Well, no, I think it's Voodoo does like all the games where it's like
I know
it's like
the-
pro versus noob, and it's like my mom versus my dad, and the mom's always better for some reason.
The stick figure one, it's something Zone or something, I forget, but I knew it was awful because they had their head title in Comic Sans. That was a major no-no.
I did something for work
The
today.
only thing that should ever be in Comic Sans is when a little girl is describing a unicorn. That's the only time the font is ever necessary. It's not my original joke. I forgot who said it, but I still love it.
I did something for work today, and I was going through the old archives of like old profiles for the people or whatever. All of the profiles from that year were done in Comic Sans.
The horror.
I literally just sat there and I was like, why? Because I was copying the stuff over to something else. And as I was copying it over, we all have like a certain font we have to put everything in now. And I was looking at the font they use and I'm like, it says Comic Sans. Why are we doing it in Comic Sans? And no one, and since they're older, none of them understand it, but I'm just like,
It's the fun app. It's the Jimmy Buffett of app. Holy
I
shit.
asked my mom,
Comic Sans is the Jimmy Buffett of apps. Or fonts, rather. Comic
Yeah.
Sans
Oh my
is the
God,
Jimmy
you're
Buffett
right.
of fonts.
So I asked my mom, and I said, I need you to make a Tinder profile for me. She goes, sure, what do I need to do? And I said, just write me a Tinder profile. She goes, I don't know what Tinder is. Don't laugh at me.
Just tell her it's lit. According to Spencer's mom.
Let's get lit.
I can't
I
believe...
told her it's a dating app.
You know what? Do you want me to... I need to fix my bio. But you
Yeah,
know what? I will-
read your actual bio, and we will give you a live.
Your mom said what?
She has no idea how to write one.
Oh.
We'll give you a live profile critique.
I forgot what no, I remember what it is. It's kind of dumb, but it's me because I'm kind of dumb. So let me...
I'm a fun and quirky guy.
Let's get lit together.
Just another Volkswagen-loving, Nintendo-playing, adventure-seeking, pun-telling,
Swipe left.
easy-going, run-on-sentencing guy looking for someone that matches my life rhythm. Swipe right for dad jokes and a solid conversation. Smiling emoji. That's...
I've already swiped left like 3 sentences ago.
Well, joke's on you. My profile pictures are beautiful, including the ones where I'm playing a rusty trumpet and driving away in the turd.
Neato.
Indeed. It's a boomerang, because that's what the cool kids do.
Oh, I know Boomerang.
Me too. They had great cartoons back in the day.
It's all coming back to you.
And, of course, my Spotify anthem is Shining On by Big D and the Kids Table. I think it's a pretty fair one.
Oh, you could have like profile songs or whatever?
Again, as I show Brian the format, this is what the profile will look like. You have
I
your
forgot
pictures.
you can do videos now.
Indeed, you can do little boomerang videos. You have your video right there, your name, age, and information, and then you can have an anthem with your Spotify, and then it shows top Spotify
Top
artists.
I wish
Although I will
Twitter
say,
did that
I haven't
and
listened to
Facebook.
the top Spotify artists are. I mean, they're songs I listen to, but they're not like. I'm looking through it right now. Like for some reason, the first song that pops up is "Blur" by Song 2. Great song.
It's a good song.
Woohoo! I haven't. I think I listened to that like twice, but that's coming up as my top.
Fun
The rest
fact,
makes sense though.
that song was
Real Big Fish,
that
the
song was
Smiths,
sung
the
and written
Doors.
by the guy who does the Gorillaz.
Yeah, that I thought that was just a known
That's his
fact at
band.
this point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's his band. And he
It
also
is his
does
band.
solo stuff too. It's also a fun fact that one of the Green Gang members is actually part of the Gorillaz.
The who?
The Green Gang.
No idea who
Powerpuff
they
Girls?
are.
Sounds like you should get him checked out. Oh,
The Gangrene Gang.
I was gonna make like a losing your arm joke because gangrene.
No,
Do you
the
have
Gangrene
tissues
Gang.
down here?
Yeah,
This?
right over there.
Right next to
Right in
Where's
front of
that?
JFK. Don't get shot.
Whoa,
Back and to the left.
Remember that one time Rocco watched that on television?
That was an episode of Rocker's Modern Life when he got a phone call and Heifer was watching TV and it was the JFK assassination. And Rocco's job was a phone sex operator. That was legitimate.
It was. Well, he was flipping. I watched that episode because he was flipping through the channels because there's stuff that's boring on. And so as he's flipping through, you don't see the visuals. You just hear the TV in the background, and he's like, "Here comes the motorcade," and a shot was fired, and then you just hear him change the channel. I remember my dad telling me that he used to love watching cartoons with me because or cartoons like Doug and Rugrats because he always said that there was like little adult humor there and there that like I wouldn't understand. Well, there was the one part where like the grandpa came back. He's like, yeah, he just came back from playing Russian roulette with the boys, and his son was like, oh, did you win? And he's like, you don't know how to play Russian roulette, do you?
That or the time in Rocco's Modern Life he was a phone sex operator.
Yeah, that's what
That's
just
That time?
yes.
You mean the entire series
Oh
of the
yes.
show?
Oh yes. Do it. Oh yes.
They got away with so much back in the day.
there was one.
Even
I think
with SpongeBob. There's some.
I think the first time
Some
I
pretty dark
noticed
ones.
that like adult jokes were getting into like TV shows like that was it was Fairly Odd Parents, and Timmy found a kid who like his parents were clowns or something, and he was like, "Yeah, I used to work in Congress, and that's where I learned about clowns." I was just like,
Yeah, that's getting there into the adult realm.
he was like, all
That's
them
not,
are clowns, but none of them are funny.
That's not quite sex line adult jokes. But
Well,
that's
no, not
more
like a sex line,
that's
but
a
it's just like-
mature joke.
Yeah, it was just like, it was a jab that kids really wouldn't get, but like if the parents were watching, like,
And you were just laughing because it's SpongeBob, and
it was Fairly Odd Parents.
that's what I said. It's Fairly Odd Parents, so you just
I
whatever.
mean, even like Animaniacs had so
Fingerprints.
many dark ones. Yeah, fingerprints.
Fingerprints.
And
Oh,
Prince
yeah.
is sitting there like,
Because they had Prince.
forgot
They
about
had
that
Prince
one.
there, and he was like, "We're looking for
Prince.
fingerprints."
I found him.
He's like, "No, fingerprints." And then Prince looks at Dot, and Dot goes, "I don't think so." Or there was one where he was like,
"Hello, nurse."
or there one where they said like, "What are you doing over there? You're flipping the bird?" They're like, "We love to, but the Fox sensors wouldn't let us."
Oh, that's great.
And I love how every time they'd say that, they're like, "Good night, everybody." And they
yeah,
just
and-
like fake end the show because they thought they're gonna get
get
kicked
canned.
off.
But it turns out if you're stupidly popular, you can't get canned.
I think Animaniacs might be one of my all-time favorite cartoons.
It's a very good show.
The worst part was I didn't really like it much as a kid. I kind of found it was
Really?
a little, I found it a little bit annoying as a kid.
I loved that show.
Like looking back, I love the animation of it all. I loved especially the
I think Billy West does like half
the one where they sang all the states or whatever. That's what it was, right?
Yeah, the
All the
United
countries.
States of
all the countries.
America.
the capitals,
Oh, the cat. Oh yeah.
state capitals.
He also did all the countries.
Oh, so all of them? That's a lot.
Yes, that's right. I forgot about that.
There's also the song where he sang every word alphabetically.
Oh God.
That's a lot of words.
I think
Imagine
he almost
now,
died at the end of it.
Imagine nowadays if you had to like sing an emoji. Like, how would you even?
Laughing, crying emoji.
I don't know.
Or crying, laughing emoji. I don't know.
I feel like it would just turn into a shitty meme where his face would just turn into a laughing crying emoji, and that would just end the song.
All right. My mom sent my Tinder profile.
Yes, I think Spencer should read it
Boyo, I think that's fair.
All right, that's fine.
because you read Spencer's.
I didn't read it yet, so
My girlfriend is currently writing
Or do you
mine
want?
right
do you
now.
want to read this one, and I'll read yours? That way we all get a read.
Yeah, sure.
Have a way, my friend.
All right.
hit me up
so,
there, Bobo.
Brian Kelly,
This is gonna make me want his dick.
handsome, kind, employed, intelligent.
Setting the bar high.
That's right, ladies. I'm employed.
Intelligent 25-year-old man with a great personality seeks fun, energetic woman 20 to 30 years old.
20 or 30.
Hey
Mama,
man,
I like cougars.
cougar
don't hit me
life
on
in
that.
the city.
I love to enjoy life and laugh whenever I can. I'm surrounded by good friends who enjoy radio, all communication media, and video gaming.
It's like she knows we're
Did you
sitting here.
read my resume? Enjoys radio, communications, AV, Microsoft Office.
If you enjoy spontaneity, being treated nicely, mutual respect, and rugged guys with a beard, swipe to meet up.
Respect all women.
I respect women.
Respect
Thanks,
women.
Mom.
Respect all women. Respect women. By the way, I totally swiped right. You had me moist.
I mean, you got me with rugged man and
I'm about to say,
employed.
I kind of thought you were a softie until you
I swiped left to myself after seeking women 20 to 30 years old.
Hey, judging by that profile, you and I are in the same age range.
You also called yourself handsome in the first word.
I think I'm
Handsome,
handsome.
kind, and employed.
That's what I think. That's my
you know
favorite part.
you know what that reminds me of? It just reminds me of like going past a motel and seeing like color TV. Even though nowadays it's like free Wi-Fi.
I stayed
now with cable.
It used to be color TV to HBO, and now it's free Wi-Fi. It's like the come stay with us thing.
Well, speaking of come in old motels, I stayed.
What now?
Oh yeah, I stayed in a motel in Ocean City, Maryland. I forgot which one it was, but we arrived. It was for H2O, the event, the car show, and we got there, and it was just old and seedy and smelled like old cigarettes when you walked in. It was home. It just felt like this is just a place. If it makes you uncomfortable, it's usually home for me. But we get there, and like we walk in the room, and there's just two beds and a sink next to one of the beds. There's also a bathroom with a sink, but there's a sink next to one of the beds. And we were just staring
Note
at
yourself,
that.
if you want to get Spencer to stay at your place, have a sink.
I mean, dude, that's a lot of plumbing. Like, it's not as easy as
I mean,
just
to be fair,
gluing
Brian
sink
does
on
have a
wall.
sub pump here in the studio.
He does. You mean my bathroom? My
Yes.
downstairs bathroom?
I want to convert that into a toilet.
All you have to do is lift up on the sensor
don't
so
poop
it
and you're
flushes. Pretty much.
No, but I want.
Anyway,
I need
about
a
your
bathroom.
Put a blender in it. Anyway. But no, it was just so we were like, we have a room with an after sex sink. It's perfect. You get done, you can wash your hands, and you go back to cuddling. It's perfect. It's great. That was next level thinking. Colored TV, after sex sink. It's beautiful. Why is that not more mainstream? Like, should
After
we
we
put
bang, we're gonna watch colored TV and use the sink.
Well, it's like they could have put a bidet there, but now sink. Although I guess anything is a bidet if you try hard enough.
That should be in your Tinder profile. Like, listen, after we bang, I got a sink. You can
I
wash.
really think your Tinder
can
profile
wash away
should
the
be
shame.
your quote there. Anything is a bidet
If you
if
try,
you try
hard enough. Should I just? That's why I should just change my profile too.
Yes.
I give that a shot.
Anything is a bidet, a bay.
Anything is a bidet if I try hard enough. No, I like that. Anything is a bidet. If I, you know what, I'm gonna do that this week, and I'll report back.
No, but also what I was saying about Tinder profiles is that the whole subreddit of r/Tinder is just people's Tinder profiles.
It is, but it's not. It's more along the lines of, hey, I saw this one person do this really funny thing. Now I'm gonna try it. Like the new
Pretty
trend
much.
on there is, do you like bread? Yeah. Do you like being choked? Why?
Because the, but rye. But rye. Bread.
I feel like after you made that joke, everything just got quieter.
Even the background ambient, whatever
that background noise just went out as soon as you did that. Even the ghosts that haunt this building were just like, we're out.
Well, in other news, now this was something that we kind of started discussing before because I was super excited. And so I personally, I believe that if you support something, you should spend money on it. If you don't support something, you should not spend money on it, even if you don't think you're making a difference, because the mass majority make a difference.
Yeah, take that, Nike.
Yeah, I'm going to buy your shoes and then burn them. Enjoy that revenue, bitch. But no, I personally, I stopped using Amazon after all the allegations came out about the workers going on welfare and the working environments. Not that I'm not trying to push my opinions. If you still use Amazon, I don't think any better or worse from you. Also, my opinion of you should not matter. But either way, I kind of stopped. But it came out, my boy Bernie, my friend Bernie, even retweeted, I think it was Jeff Bezos or something, announcing that they were planning on making a $15 minimum wage across all Amazon employment areas from Jeff Bezos himself. I thought that was phenomenal because that not only was that there's no government intervention. It's right from the company itself. That sounded great. But apparently there is a darker side to it than I realized. And one of you is going to fill me in on it. I don't know if Brian is thumbing through looking for an article.
I'm trying to find the article I read about it.
I mean, because, you mentioned that they were going to up the wages but lessen the bonuses.
Mm-hmm.
Now, did those bonuses trickle down to the average just shelf stocker, or were those bonuses going to the supervisor? And also, I mean, just sacrificing those bonus means that a person at a different warehouse is still getting paid a higher wage. Because, like, I'm just kind of curious.
Okay. Sorry, so I found it. So, because someone who works for Amazon said just to keep everyone updated on Amazon moving the minimum wage to $15 an hour, they're taking away our monthly bonus stock we get on our anniversaries. It's all just for show. And a lot of people said that any bonuses that they got and in the long run they're losing out of, and any stock bonuses that they got for whatever, like however they did in their job, they're now no longer getting. So in the end, they would have made more money if they didn't go to that thing. But since they were like, oh, we're going to 15 an hour, and
you see, you say they. Would they as in every single person, or they as in the hardest worker that was earning the bonus? Because, I mean, obviously, yes, the harder worker that was earning the bonus would not earn as much money. But, I mean, would the person that's doing their best to get by but not doing as well as the others still make more?
They said also holiday bonuses that they would get, they're no longer getting.
I'm curious to see how it plays out, just because, like, especially this day and age, technology-wise, there's no hiding anything. I mean, we'll hear. I mean, there was a lot of organizations calling for a boycott of Amazon during whatever holidays.
Oh, it was Amazon Prime Day, but then they ended up breaking records.
Yep. Yes, they did. Turns out it, in terms of how much was purchased, it was higher than ever. So, fought the good fight.
See, because for some things, like, a boycott will actually work for, but then there are other things where it's like, you can try all you want. It's too powerful.
Yeah, but it's better to try and not succeed than to just conform and not care.
See, also, sorry, going back to a previous point, my mom just texted me, wait, I just looked it up. Tinder's a hookup app. I thought this was like Match.com. So that goes back to my point where I said Tinder has the stigma of a hookup app, while other ones are more seen as a relationship.
Right, just like there's hardcore people that have a stigma.
Yeah, well, I'm saying that's what I was trying to bring up before.
I mean, just like there's a stigma about alcohol to the point that there's laws where you can't walk around with an open container. I mean, let's face it, if someone wants to walk around with a beer, they're not fucking doing anything wrong. But because you have these old puritanical laws that started with the prohibition, I'm going off on a tangent. But point being is, yes, a lot of things have stigmas, but it's important for you as a person to just break past the stigma if you want to use it. If you don't want to use Tinder, that's cool. Don't use Tinder. If you want to use it, go for it. If you're afraid of what people are thinking of you, don't use Tinder. But go for it anyway to break those insecurities. Work past it. Try. You got this. I believe in you. You are beautiful, and you're an amazing person, and you wake up in the mirror and look at that sexy face.
I wake up in the mirror all the time.
It definitely helps.
Let me out!
It definitely helps knowing, obviously, that there are other apps out there similar to Bumble and things like that.
Of course, Coffee Meets Bagel, Zeus, all the other product placement that we never get paid for.
Yeah, I mean, I'd met a previous ex of mine on OkCupid. Like, it's, it
wasn't on Great Cupid, but it wasn't on Bad Cupid either.
It was just okay.
It was okay Cupid.
Okay. It was all right.
It was all right Cupid. It was
Meh
Cupid.
Meh.
Meh Cupid.
He tried, but not that hard.
All right, Cupid. He's
he's okay Cupid. All right.
Why was that their name for their thing? Okay, Cupid. Like, it's okay.
Brian, it's gonna be okay, Brian. It's gonna be okay. According to Cupid, it's gonna be just fine. You're good. You're good.
I mean, everyone in general is looking for something different. Some people can use those apps like OKC and Bumble and whatever for a hookup. Other people can use that for a relationship.
Sure.
Yeah, it has that stigma, but
that's just it. You get to pick and choose who you see. Like if you don't want to rifle through it, like I do sometimes when I'm bored, then don't rifle through it.
Exactly.
I mean, dude, I've seen
some people don't take it seriously.
One thing I really enjoy about these apps is like I get to just take a look at other people that exist that are out there that I've never met before. I mean, it's obviously you're not seeing their entire life, but it's kind of cool. You get to see their hobbies, their interests. What pictures did they want to show you to display who they are? I've seen cosplayers. I've seen nerds. I've seen models. I've seen just run-of-the-mill people.
My profile is written by my girlfriend.
The profile is
By the way, my mother's also writing up a new one because now she realizes it's a hookup app. So she wants to write up a new
Who
one.
wants fat Irish sausage or black pudding, as we call it?
Just read Bob's already before I get uncomfortable.
Is it just white and black pudding? Is that what the two sausages are called? Black pudding is a Irish dish, if you didn't know. Okay. It's the sausage.
I had no idea.
The more you know. You've been to Ireland, haven't you?
And
You didn't have black pudding?
Today I learned.
Well, apparently black pudding is like the Taco Bell of Mexico. So, anyway. So this is Bob's Tinder profile according to his lady friend.
all right, I'm getting ready. Where am I going to swipe? Left, right, or up?
Let's find out.
All
Here
right.
we go. Hi, I'm Bob.
Up. Super liked. Got me already.
Oh my god. Hi, I'm Bob. Not Bob the Builder because, one, I probably can't fix it. In fact, I was the one that broke it. And two,
Yikes.
I would hope I am more interesting than a man
This
who
soon
talks
in, and
to...
she already knows that you break
Shh.
shit.
Two, I would hope I'm more interesting than a man who talks to / encourages construction equipment all damn day. Things to expect, : corny jokes, queso dip for days, picture of my dogs, road rage, and a romantic 2 for $20 date at Applebee's. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. This is fucking Tinder gold.
Jesus.
This is fantastic.
It's rough, man.
Yo, tell her to write me one up. Just
Wait, that's it?
Just show her. Yeah, that's it.
Okay.
No, tell her tell her what my Facebook is. Just tell her right because I don't think I've ever even met her in person. Right?
No, yeah.
Just-
I met her
fucking-
for the first time this past weekend.
Is she nice?
I didn't talk to her that much, in reality.
So she sucks. Okay, sorry, Bob. No, I'm just kidding. I'm
she
just
seemed-
kidding. It's
she
all
seemed-
a joke here at the Shibby Shack. Yeah.
She seemed nice for the few moments I got to talk to her, but we never got to talk all that much that weekend.
Yeah. It happens.
I gotta say though that was
felt up your
that was
face at one
fucking
point, though.
that actually like that's one of those because I've noticed a lot of like a lot of Tinder bios, the ones I do are very self. I'm fishing for words here.
I gotta
forgot my
say,
thesaurus.
she's stuck on the whole builder thing for a little too long for my personal liking.
Oh no, I thought that was great. I thought all that was great.
I was waiting for like the entire profile to be just a continuation of the Bob the Builder joke, and I was like, all right.
She did other stuff too. I
No,
thought
she
that
did.
was-
I said it would have been funny if she just kept that going. Thought the entire thing was just like a whole thing about one joke.
If I was attracted to Bob and I saw that profile, that'd be a hard right for me. I would do like that's my humor.
I already said I swiped up. That's a super like.
Yeah, well, you said hi, I'm Bob. And
Yeah, I know. He got me there.
you really high standards.
I mean, my name is Bob.
holy shit, I'm wet. Yeah,
He's not lying to me. His name's Bob.
Ain't no catfish here.
The truest person on Tinder.
the truest person on Tinder.
Is that like being the fastest person with no legs?
The world's fastest torso.
I don't even know how to interpret any of that. But
By the way, Ange
so-
said she will gladly write your Tinder profile.
oh, fantastic!
Oh,
I
my
said, just send her a link to my Facebook.
What is
profile.
with my
Or
mom?
if she doesn't-
So
if she wants to write me a blind one, even better.
all right, so my mom wrote a new one, and again, she went back to the whole
Gimme.
21 to
gosh.
30 age thing. and
Oh, you read it already?
I read
Yes.
part of it. I didn't read all of it.
See. Oh, wow. She actually put in detail. Like she actually wrote down all of the info. Brian, 25, single, employed, owns car, doesn't live with parents. Thanks, Mama Kelly. Disease free.
Disease free.
Seeking women 21 to 30 years. So you
Oh,
went up
I
a year.
bumped up
you
a
went
year.
up a year.
All right. Now when
Period.
I'm looking for the hookup, I'm like, all right,
Looking for
20-year-olds
no
get outta here.
strings fun. You hear that, orchestral people? Fuck off with your violins. No strings fun.
Oh, so Brian, you're in the hookup culture. Nice.
No crazies, stalkers, or clings. Swipe right. You know it's Tinder because she said swipe right at the end.
You know, give my phone back. I really need to ask her what's her deal with me not dating people over 30.
Yeah, just give me 1 second.
As Brian has Spencer has
Spencer
Brian's
has my
phone.
phone.
No, I just wanted to personally thank her over Brian's phone because that was phenomenal. I actually there's some days I felt bad about my profile, but then I read what Brian's would be, and I actually feel pretty good about myself.
I don't know.
dude,
I think
you
my
still-
profile
you
is
still-
pretty damn
no,
good.
You take the cake. You
I
take
asked
the
her.
cake.
Why can't I
there's
see
anything-
people over 30?
For whatever, if there's anything that for whatever reason, hopefully you guys live happily ever after and all that. But if anything doesn't happen, at least you could say from this relationship you got a baller ass Tinder profile.
That is true. I'm going to copy that Tinder profile and save it.
Copy pasta.
Indeed.
God forbid something ever happens, which I really hope doesn't and shouldn't.
I asked my
And
mom,
we'll-
why can't I
hopefully-
see women over
got it.
30? She goes, biological clock screaming.
Mama wants some
Oh
children,
my
eh?
God, that's amazing.
Mom, you already have 2 kids from my brother. Why you got on my ass about it?
She all the
wants
children.
more.
She want all the children.
Give me all the grandchildren.
Your dad tried to tell me that I should have 6.
Yeah. My dad also thinks we're going to have the most kids out of my siblings.
Not happening, bro.
No. I was like 2 and adopt 1, and that's all I want.
Do you want 3? Good for you.
As a 3rd child, yeah.
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah, that whole thing.
you were the mistake. That's
so
fair.
you're adopted.
Oh, Mom, come on. Don't. That's mean. She goes, and why still single at 30 and Tinder on Tinder at 30? No thanks.
She's
Oh,
very
come on.
kind.
Some people.
Again, for everyone listening, don't let others' opinions decide how you feel about yourself. Be happy about who you are. It's taken me 28 years to get to this realization. So if you're not quite there yet,
Ooh,
totally
if you're single at
respect
30,
that.
my mom's judging you.
Yes. The only person's
Snuck
opinion
in
that should
just like
matter.
Indiana Jones under the door and grabbing my hat.
Pretty much. Grabbed your dignity. Swipe. And not right. Boom.
Well, I guess we should ask, what did we learn today?
I had one more thing.
Oh, you had one more? Oh, okay. Go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm still waiting my profile, sir.
I wanted to do.
She said she'll do it
quick,
when she meets you.
quick segment.
Oh, okay. So I gotta wait for that.
Little things that Brian gets upset about that no one else really cares.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I want to get into a new segment. I need a song for this.
Da da da. You can just go
Da, da,
now.
da, no one cares but me.
I think
I'm
DJ Quads
angry.
might have something.
Da da da. You can just leave now because no one cares what Brian feels bad about.
So I'll do two things real quick. As a lot of people know, we like games here.
Like Monopoly and Sorry.
One of my favorite games out there is The Legend of Zelda. Something I see more and more. Dorkly does this a lot, and for a parody video group about video games, I would hope they would know this, but apparently they don't.
Unless they're doing it to piss off people.
I don't think that's the intention.
Which very well could be, because it's college humor.
I don't think so. I think that
Top 10 reasons why the Republican Party are Nazis.
I came here for humor, not political crap.
Then don't go to college humor anymore.
That's why I blocked it.
I miss old college humor.
Same. So the thing that bothers me about the Legend of Zelda series, there's only one Link that is the hero of time, and that is the Ocarina of Time Link.
Actually,
All the other ones are not hero of time.
Shout out to all the links that make the hook shot. That's like a lot of chain links. It's crazy.
Tons. The Twilight Princess is the hero of Twilight. Breath of the Wild, he's the hero of the wild.
Hero of the breath.
Or my
The lung hero.
I was like, I don't know which one's worse. If he was the hero of the breath or Spirit Tracks, the hero of trains.
I just imagine like
Lots
a dude
and lots of
smoking a
trains.
cigarette and Link is just like, put that out. Just smacks it out of his hand.
Someone smoking a cigarette in like a restaurant, Link comes up, slaps it out of their hand. You just hear the music. Boo! Hero of breaths. Oh my god, that's hilarious. So yeah, that's something that just bothers me when they show like a Link to the Past Link and they're like, oh, it's the hero of time, or like the original Link. I'm like, that's one, they're all different Links. You fucking idiot. Two, those are not the hero of time. They'll have different titles. Get it right. God.
Tragic.
It bothers
Really,
me every day.
just the
I
word.
can't sleep, honestly.
Flint still doesn't have clean water, but those damn links. Figure your links out.
And the other thing, similar. Ash Ketchum is in none of the games. Stop calling Red Ash. That is not Ash. That is Red. And his rival in Japan, Green. In America, Blue. It's not Gary Oak.
Yeah, but at what point can you just let it go? Like, I mean, it was like the first person to start calling Chevrolet a Chevy. It's not a Chevy. It's a Chevrolet.
Well, see,
You
that's
need to
abbreviation
stop it.
of it, though. That's an abbreviation of it. What I'm saying is you see a Chevrolet and you're like, oh, it's a great Toyota. It's not a Toyota.
Wonder why they call it Ash? Because Red is a stupid fucking name.
But
Sorry for everyone named Red. Turns into
Red Foreman.
I'm sure there's also you mean my little brother. Yeah.
Yeah, I know that's why. That's what I mean. I was like Red Foreman.
Well, okay, maybe Red's a normal name. And you know what? Any name is good. Fuck it. Forget it. 2018.
But no, it's just like if the normie crowd does, I'm like, all right, whatever. But if you're gonna be one of those pages that are like, we're for the gamers, cause and then you still get shit wrong like that, I'm like, go fuck
Are
yourself.
you trying to say that top 10 channels are actually just normies trying to monetize off of YouTube? Fucking
Dorkly?
no
Yes.
way.
I used to like you, Dorkly.
No, Dorkly.
I will
what
give-
did Dorkly do?
Dorkly does shit like that all the
Oh,
time.
come on. Booney Sanders. The whole, like, when...
Booney Sanders was one of the best things they ever did. Booney Sanders
absolutely.
was great.
And they did a bunch of good
And
stuff.
J-Hole Comics is great. I like him a lot.
Don't know that one.
J-Hole Comics, once you see his art style, you'll know who he is.
All right.
But he's really funny.
That's fair.
I like him a lot, but like his series of he did a comic of his entire journey throughout Pokemon Sun and Moon, and it is fantastic. I love that comic series. But I'm just saying, like, if you pride yourself or like your thing's all about gaming and you get shit like that wrong, I'm like, go fuck yourself. Get that right. Come on.
You sound like JonTron when he's pretending to be pissed off, except you're actually pissed off.
I wouldn't say I'm peeved.
You're peeved. I am distraught. That's right. I cracked out the thesaurus. I got a 16-something on my SATs, whatever's a good score.
What's the good score? I got one better. What's new high score mean?
I wrote my name down and didn't answer questions. I got half of it right.
What was it from Accepted where he's like, yeah, I got a 0 on the SATs. Like, don't you get 200 points for just writing your name? What?
The same guy that blows stuff up with his brain. Yep. I love that movie, but it also made me feel really sad because that movie reminded me how much college is pushed on people, or especially back then. I mean, the whole reason, hey, I got to meet you guys out of it and have this great podcast, and I'm only like $30,000 in debt, but it was fair. Your money, there is no price I could put on these friendships.
I was going to say, is our friendship worth $30,000?
And for falling in love with 6 years. Yeah, no, it's great. Everything's great. College is worth it. No, I fucking loved college, and I really can't put a monetary price. But point being, like, Accepted, like, not only did people that didn't get into schools, I mean, they were like the heathens, like you are kicked off this island.
It's like, just go to a trade school. Who gives a shit?
Oh, it just wasn't seen that way. And I'll even admit, I think at the time I kind of saw trades and handwork as below college.
Oh, for sure, because that's what you were told.
Yeah,
you were told if people want to be like, oh, I want to go to a trade school and learn, like.
You want to go to Votech, you fucking
like,
blue-collar nerd?
How dare you want to go learn to be a plumber or something?
That's actually what I wanted to do. My parents wouldn't let me. They're like, no, you're going to college. You're going to college. You don't want to go to Votech.
And then here's the thing. It's, oh, no, everyone went to college and no one went to a trade school.
Hello,
now all the trade schools
in
are like high in demand and all those college kids aren't.
Well, that's just it. I was talking to a few of the contractors about, like, I mean, turns out building a house, even if you don't put the physical work into it, is just a very difficult process, trying to get people to do the work and this and that and the other. It turns out contractors are really having a difficult time trying to get people to work. And I found that crazy because I feel like every time I drive around and turn a corner, there's Joe Schmo and Bro's contracting van. Like, visually, it looks like there's plenty of people to work. But from what they're saying,
have, like, the exact know-how how to do it.
I don't know if it's the know-how or if people want too much money now because now it's a niche thing or whatever. I'm not quite sure why, but it just blew my mind to think that contracting work was difficult or was to find work. I would have thought, because I've met people that used to be painters that got out of it because they said there's no money in it anymore, but I would have thought that of all things, like a person running their own business would have the hardest time finding work because...
Well, it's because also, like, like, it was because I know a lot of people I met in college. They said, like, I'm the first in my family line to go to college. Exactly, and it was a thing that college wasn't a thing for everybody to
bachelor's degree.
Going to college wasn't a thing that everybody did back then. So people went to college was a rarity, and more that's what they wanted more then. But times have changed now. Everyone can go to college. There's all these loans and grants and blah blah blah. So now everyone's going to college and everyone's coming out expecting a job, and then everyone's just like, oh, well, there's like 80,000 other people who do what you do. No one did all the trade stuff anymore, so now all those trade jobs are like, well, there's no one else to do this now, and that's why they're making...
Not to mention the market crashed my freshman year of college.
Yeah. Oh, well,
and did not really recover until... I really think I graduated in 2012, and I really think I just graduated in like the butthole of the job market.
Well, yeah, that too.
But... I think on the flip side, though, like the unspoken things of college that just aren't mentioned, like, yes, if people bash on people bash on, well, like, and I use in quotations the useless majors, but like, if the things that happen during college are what's important. I mean, like, outside of my proverbial little bubble in Manalapan, New Jersey, like, I mean, I went to different countries with groups and all, but I never really spent, like, months on end with different people and different ideologies with discussions. And I was an American Studies major, which was a cultural humanity, which is pretty much an amped-up liberal arts degree. But, like, we had so many debates and discussions in class. I got to meet new things. Like, I remember thinking that I was in a class and I was talking about how, times used to be way more racist than they are nowadays. And I got to learning, and thankfully, like, the people in my class, they were telling me stories about. One guy was a Muslim dude, and he says that every time I go to an airport, I get a random check. And, like, it's just different stories from different aspects, whether it be money or no money or grants or this. It's just, I don't know. I loved the collegiate atmosphere to the point that I actually thought about becoming a professor. I never had an interest in public schools. I never wanted to leave that college area where even like at that point in time, you don't have to chase your dreams yet. You're still learning. Like, the stress of waking up every day saying, hey, you got things you want to accomplish before you die, isn't quite there yet, because you're still waking up saying, I'm not at the step yet. I'm still in my education period. I don't know. I just loved everything about the atmosphere of college.
I think I told you guys also, like, when, back in my hometown, is you've been there, everyone's freaking Irish. Like, it's just, everyone is just from that descent. And then, I went from Kearney, which was an Irish town, to Pearl River, which was an Irish town. So I just thought, everybody was. Besides, like, people in other countries. Obviously, they aren't. But, and not to sound racist also, but I thought, like, every white person in America was an Irish person. And it's just, that's how I saw it as. And, it's just other stuff, too, like, where I watched Family Guy a lot when I was younger. And they were known as the Irish family there. And I was like, oh, I guess everyone just is, or whatever. And then, going to college and, seeing people and they're just like, oh, I'm from here, I'm this, I'm that. And I'm just like, oh, I guess that is not everybody. It's
important to be able to admit ignorances. I mean, nobody is born perfect, and we all do live in a sort of bubble until there's something that pops it. And college popped it in a good way.
Sure.
I know there's online school, and if that fits into a certain person's life where they can balance everything, and the only way they can do is through online school, then power to you. I go for it. I just feel like there's so much missed when you don't stay, because it's not even just about the schooling itself. It's just being surrounded in an uncomfortable atmosphere.
You drop your phone on the bar.
I didn't hear a thing. Where you surround yourself in an uncomfortable atmosphere where you got to get up and just go out there, make a friend or two, build social skills. It sucks because, at what point is the balance between all of that experience and then monetary value? College is fucking expensive, and I knew how much my schooling was costing going into school, but I just didn't grasp how much money 6 figures worth of school really could have been.
Mm-hmm.
I could have bought myself a supercar with what I went to school for.
Well, I
couldn't afford to find it, or couldn't afford the insurance on it, even if someone handed it to me.
But no, I never really like when people use those kind of things where they're like, oh, you are a smoker, or like you drink a beer every day, and like, yes. And it's like, okay, if a pack of cigarettes costs $6.19 and you buy like 2 a day, and after a year you could have like this much money, you could have bought a car. It's like, okay, you don't smoke, where's your car? Like, it's easy to say that in retrospect, but I understand, coming from the college level, like, yeah, you could have
a pack of cigarettes cost $40,000 a year.
Yeah, so it's like, but also you have to remember, it's like, because one thing I really realized about college was I was like, all the classes, I'm like, I really learn much from the classes, but you learn a lot from like experiences, clubs,
discussions,
people, discussions with others. Connections is a huge thing, because a lot of basically every job I got was through college connections. I got my current job because Bob worked there, and I got in contact with him, and that's how I got over there.
Right.
Yeah, it's pretty much turned into your job is because of who you know. Also, what you can do, but who you know gets you in the
what you
door
can do
on that
also
interview.
helps. But getting to the interview is like, if you say like, oh,
that's how
hi,
I got my current job now.
Hi, WXYZ station.
And my previous job.
I know Bob Giaquinto. He's currently your promo assistant. Here's what I can do. And they're like, okay, we'll bring you on.
And I think it's also important, especially, as a retrospective for really life in general, but when it comes to stuff like college, like, it's easy for me to think, if I could go back in time and tell myself any sort of little bit of advice, I would say just kind of figure out something you want to go to college for before you get in. Don't go to college expecting to find yourself or figure out what you want to do.
Oh, yeah, definitely wait.
You have to know what you're doing.
Wait until you have something. Take a year if you need to.
Or find a job that has, A, the biggest, potential of getting a job, and B, the biggest paycheck.
Or who knows, a job that'll pay for your college. But in all everything aside, though, I just, not to get too gloaty, I am really proud and happy of the person I am today, and it wouldn't have happened with this life experience. I don't know if I went back in time and said to myself, like, hey, man, turns out you really like cameras more than you thought. Go for that film degree. That could have ended with me shooting heroin for all I know. I could have gotten... I'm serious, though. Like, it sounds far-fetched, but you could really... Who knows where that would have gotten me? Yes, that is also true as well. But I think it's important to be thankful thankful for what you have going on right now because of your life experiences. The grass really is always greener on the other side, but there will always be ifs and buts and what ifs. But it's just important to be thankful for what you got and trudge forward sometimes as well. And that's really kind of how I took the college experience for me, because like I went to college I graduated high school wanting to be a scuba diver instructor. And I was told by my parents pretty much, do whatever you want in life, just get a 4-year degree first. And I kind of think they wanted me to trudge away from that for a real, and I also use quotes, realistic job. We could save that one for another day. But
yeah, I definitely want to talk about pre-high school or pre-college and post-college.
We'll do this next podcast.
Careers.
I have a whole story about what I wanted to actually do after college, and
there
I
we
was
go, man.
shot down.
Cliffhangers for next episode.
Tune in next time. So what did we learn today, everybody?
Yeah, I guess we should do what we learned today.
I'll go first.
Go for it.
I learned that anything is a bidet if you try hard enough.
I'm kind of sold on making that my Tinder profile.
I had it written down too and everything.
Just in case you forget.
I learned that I'd swipe the hell out of Bob on Tinder. Your girlfriend's pretty good at Tinder profiles. Props to her.
Well, I learned I'm going to go on a bit of
your mom too. Your mom's Tinder profile was also fantastic.
I think it was fantastic for all the wrong reasons.
I loved everything about it.
I'm sure you did, but
Let's get lit.
I understand the young people.
If your mother could, she would have put in a Fortnite dance in there too.
Oh, I'd be flossing the hell out of it.
I don't know how to do the floss.
I'll teach you after the podcast. It's really, really simple. You got this. But
I don't know, my hand.
On a more serious, somber note, last week we did we chose to skip the episode because there was a passing in the Shibby family, and there was also a passing in my personal family. I think it's just an important thing to recognize that it's you should take time for yourself, because I kind of got a little bit guilty because I liked what we got going on. I want to keep episodes going, but I think it's more important to take time for yourself than it is to keep consistency, quality over quantity.
Family comes first.
Precisely.
Exactly.
But at the same time, on my end, the passing was very sudden. He was 30. It was Adam. He was 31 years old. He passed of a heart attack out of nowhere. The beauty that came out of it, though, is a lot of friends came together. But it really kind of, it hit me harder than I thought. It really brought a lot of perspective into life about what's important. I think in those moments of grieving, although the sorrow hurts a lot, remember those moments of what you found important. I mean, for me, it was just friends, the family, the people that I surrounded myself by. I'm genuinely thankful to have all three of you in my life. You too, Corinne, if you're listening. You don't know when the last day is, and it's sometimes I want to try and carry this mentality forward whenever I get angry or mad at stupid shit or whatever, or even at a person. Like, if you're mad at a friend, I'm actually curious in you guys' input on this one. If you're mad at a friend, I'm like, what would you say if they passed? Because this was one of those occasions. This is the first time I've had a passing in my life of someone close to me that was sudden. Like, there was no illness, there was no hospice. This was just someone that actually played a major role, bigger in my life than I kind of realized until he passed. And then when he did, like, what would you say? And so, like, if you're mad at a friend and it's really getting bad, just what would you think if they passed? I think it's important to keep that in mind.
Well, I think it's important to keep that in mind, but also you shouldn't have that mentality all the time. Also, because there may be a time where, a friend of yours has wronged you in a way that's reasonable to be angry at.
Okay, yes. I'm sorry.
I don't want to take away from what you're doing there.
No,
but
I want you to.
I also don't want people to get into the mindset of, somebody could die at any time, so just...
No, toxicity is a thing. Toxicity is very much a thing. But at the same time, I think if someone's toxic in your life, and maybe not what you would say to, what would you think? Not say, because I wouldn't go up to a podium and be like, here lies Adam, he's a fucking dick. Like, I would... Just kidding, Adam.
Here lies Spencer. Whatever.
Here lies Spencer, the world's a better place. Yeah, I think those are the moments that are important. Just
I
also,
think it's shocking.
it was well. I
You
mean,
know
I
what I
don't know if
mean?
you remember initially when we got the phone call a half hour before we.
Well, it's
supposed to
also
start recording.
because we were going to start, and my fiance's grandfather passed,
Yes, that was
and
the
we
other
were
death,
already
yes.
in a somber mood. And then while we were trying to we were mustering up,
You're like,
the-
okay, cool. Yeah, all right, we got this.
we were
got
like,
this.
all right, we can do this, guys. I know it's a somber mood right now, but we can do this. And then that's
Then
when
you get the
Spencer
hold on,
got
guys.
the
Let me
phone
take this call.
Exactly.
about his friend.
And I remember actually getting the call. My instant reaction to anything traumatic is overzealous, ignorant optimism. Like, everything is fine. This is just fine. And
No,
like,
he's just sleeping.
maybe not like that, but it was like, oh, Adam died? That sucks, but I'm fine. Like, that's really what went through my head, as terrible as that might sound. Because I remember you guys were looking at me like, are you all right, dude? I was like, yeah, I'm fine. Then 15 minutes passed. I'm like, I'm not fine. I'm not fine at all. But I kind of do just want to end on a happier, on a warm note. I really enjoyed that night that we had last week. So last week we took a PBR for both Grandpa and Adam, and we cracked them open. We put them on the table, and we played Mario Party. And we played Mario Party with the open PBRs,
And
reminiscing.
we had like 17 jamborees.
Yes, Mario Party 2 on the cowboy level. You can
You
host
can-
jamborees, and
a hootenanny.
a hootenanny. We partied hard. We partied goddamn hard for Grandpa and for Adam. But
Nanny for the both of them.
as
and
we were
spent.
we were playing, Corinne got crazy stupid luck, random hidden block
She
stars.
got hidden block stars left and right.
Stupid. So I looked at my can. I'm like, well, she said, "Thank you, Grandpa." I looked at my can. I'm like, Adam, what the fuck? Where's my luck?
And then
I
you
go to
rolled a
roll.
2.
I rolled a 1.
You rolled a
I rolled
1,
a
it went on like a
solid
red
1.
space.
Yep. And I'm not very spiritual, but it was a very, if you knew Adam, it was a very Adam moment had. And then at the end of the night, we walked out with those cans of PBR. Corinne and I held hands and said some nice words about the deceased. We poured them, hugged each other, and ended the evening. Like, it was really. I'm not all for traditional. Why are you guys laughing? This was a moment for me.
Because I remember
'cause Brian and I
at that
hugged.
moment too, you guys hugged afterwards. So I just went over to Bob and hugged him and went to his ear and went, "Ooh, nanny," because we had like 17 hootenannies during the game. I wish they gave us a stat on. Wait, hold on. So they're
How many
20 coins.
hootenannies?
They're 20 coins a pop. And I did 17 of them.
I don't need you to tell me I blow my life on alcohol. All right, Brian? Jesus Christ.
If we did
Or it's
17
milk.
times 20,
Yeah, that's what I tell myself too.
340 coins were spent, roughly.
Think of all the stars. Think of all the children in
That would be
Yoshi's
17
Island.
stars.
Think of all the children in
'Cause
Yoshi's Island.
stars
that
are also
fed.
20.
Well, on that note, it was just kind of a perspective, or just a life realigning moment.
Love
for
the
me.
ones you got while you have them.
Sounds corny, but fuck, is it true?
No, it's definitely true.
So on that note, I'm Spencer.
I'm
I'm
You're-
Brian.
You're
but,
Rob. You're
I'm-
Rob.
We're Rob.
We're Bob. My name is Jeff. But Bob, why don't you lead us out here?
But yeah, you've been listening to Shootin' Shibby. Don't forget you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ShibbyShack. Follow us on Instagram as well at Shibby Shack Official. Check us out on iTunes. Like us, give us 5 stars, and subscribe. You can find us also on Spotify, Google Music, Player.fm, TuneIn Radio. Also our website, shootintheshibby.podbean.com. Special thanks to Bethany at Crafter's Quest for the awesome artwork that we may hopefully be getting a little bit more of. Little
You
tease.
gotta give her the money to do the work. Apparently, she doesn't just like exposure.
Also, DJ Quads for the
JK.
awesome music that we hear and that we play every single week. Also, make sure you can follow and subscribe to our Twitch account. You can check us out on twitch.tv/shibby_shack. Every now and then, Brian, Spencer, and I will take turns streaming and playing different games and things like that. We also go live every Monday.
Speaking of,
You want to turn your microphone on? That would help.
That would work. I turned it off. I forgot to turn it back on. Speaking of, one of these weekends soon, because I just looked at my calendar. I got some weekends free. Ooh, do some Until Dawn.
I
Get a
think we
good
might need
stream
to.
of that out. Also, I want
November,
to.
yeah.
Also, I want to stream us playing the new Mario Party.
Yes, absolutely.
All right,
yes.
I'm in.
I'm super down to do that because I could do that one easily.
Okay.
Absolutely.
This is what to look forward to.
I can't wait for that. So for one final time, for Spencer and for Brian, I'm Bob. Thank you so much for listening. We just shot the shit.
I like to